What is going on, guys? Inside today's video, we're going to be looking at some of my highest conviction holds going into 2025. Now, there are some cryptos on this list that I still have very high conviction on, such as Solana, XRP, and XLM. They're not necessarily on this list. These are more of like meme coins and newer altcoins that I've grown positions in, right? Now, if we start with Twitter here, I put out a post about a week ago kind of highlighting some of the higher conviction holds that I pretty much talked about on Twitter, and I've also talked about on YouTube at some point in time, right? Now, if we look at ETH, you can see we have Turbo, Speedy, Bolt, and Mung. Now, Bolt and Mung are bear market holds, just like Samo and just like SNEC. So real quick, if we head over to Coin Market Cap, before we look at the bear market holds, how they're doing, you can see we're currently sitting around a 3.32 trillion market cap. Market is up 5.39%. Bitcoin sitting around 96K. Solana around 239 bucks per coin. XRP about $1.50, and you got Stellar sitting around 50 cents. Now I'm going to go to the watch list here, and this is going to show you, it says bull run meme coins, and these were bear market holds that I've been holding since last year. And some of the other projects are projects that I've accumulated this year. And so when you look at SNEC here, 316 million in market cap. Now we are up X's on SNEC. At the very lowest that I talked about SNEC, and this was on Twitter, but I've also talked about it on YouTube, was at a 10 million market cap. As we look at Samo, it is sitting over a little over 1 cent, where we could have got 1 million tokens for anywhere from around 3,500 to 4,500, maybe a little less. Now it costs you 11K for that same million tokens. Now, when it comes to Volt and Mung, they haven't done too much, but I do expect them to have some type of growth during this bull run. So heading back over to Twitter here, if we look at Turbo and Speedy, Turbo, of course, is very well known. Speedy is up and coming, but Speedy hasn't really been able to gain that traction back on the charts since that real big hype, but I still do hold it with some high conviction. So if we head over to DEX Tools and you look at Turbo here, wait for this chart to load up for us. You can see Turbo is sitting around 492 million, just under a 500 million market cap. Now, I first started talking about Turbo around a 250 million market cap. So we're not up a ton of X's, but we are still up based off of when I first started talking about it. Now, again, in the video of Turbo, I mentioned I wasn't one of these people who are super early to get in, like maybe 40 million market cap or below. But again, I do think Turbo is a billion-plus token, and I think, you know, if you got in around at least of where I mentioned or before, you're doing pretty well. Now, let's head on down to Speedy, which Speedy isn't doing the best right now. It's still sitting at a 7.6 million market cap, but you can see after that run-up, it pulled back, created a new all-time high, and now, as you can see, it has pulled back down to where it kind of started from, right? So it's trying to build some support, and hopefully we start to see this thing move back up to the upside. So again, I still do hold Speedy, but I will say this, I do have a bigger bag in Turbo compared to Speedy, and not because of the profit amount, but because of what I actually invested, all right? So heading back over now to Sol. We've already talked about Samo, which I talked about well over a year now. We have NPCS and we have Milk Bag. Now, if we look at NPCS, it's sitting around a 19.5 million market cap. And I believe when I first mentioned NPCS, and we can find it on the YouTube channel, it was, let's go and take a look here. Let's go and take a look. I think this was the first video. So yeah, this was the first video. So I talked about it at a 5.34 million market cap. And as you can see, this was 4 months ago, July 15th. But on July 15th, at that 5 million market cap, you can see we went up here, came back down, consolidated, set a new all-time high, which was around 40 million market cap from that 5 million market cap, right? and now here we are here around a 19.5. So we're still up roughly a 4x compared to where I talked about, and I do think NPC is 100 million plus meme token. So again, just trying to showing you guys where I mentioned it and how it's doing now. Not all of the projects are going to look like this, but again, I'm just being fully transparent with you. If we look at 𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗧𝗏 here, I still think 𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗧𝗏 has some pretty good potential. They have some pretty good diamond hand holders as well. They're sitting at roughly just a 2.62 million market cap. If we head over to YouTube and we go over to the very first video I put out for 𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗧𝗏, it was sitting just under a 3 million market cap. So let's just say a 3 million market cap. And if you look now, you can see it's a little bit under that. And again, as I'm telling you, all of these projects aren't going to be up in X's, but I'm still holding them because I think they're going to do well as we heat up even more in this bull run. Now, as you look at base, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and Dog and Me. Now, I'm going to mention a couple other projects I do hold on base. Peasy, I do hold. Weirdo, I hold. And I also still hold Benny. Even though they're not on this list, I do hold them. Now, if we head over to DEX Tools again real quick, and we look at 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now, the first time I mentioned 𝗏𝗏𝗏 was around a 250 million market cap, actually similar to the Turbo market cap. And you can see we're sitting at a 1.6, almost a 1.7 billion in market cap. So you're definitely up X's compared to where I mentioned it, which was around this point here. Now, just to give you some proof, and I don't want this video to be too long, but again, I do want to share with you guys. So this was the first video I did where I'm talking about 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Toshi. As you can see, actually around a 274 market cap, which was 8 months ago, right? And again, I wasn't one of the people to get in like around a 10 million, 20 million, anything like that. But March 18th, it was sitting around 274 million in market cap. And now today we're just under 1.7 billion. Right now, we take a look at Toshi here, and Toshi isn't doing as good as it was, but I still have very high conviction in Toshi, sitting at 103 million market cap. Now, when I mentioned Toshi, it was a little bit higher than this. And if we head back over to the video, we look here on Toshi, we can see sitting around 119, just under 120 million in market cap. So we're approaching back to where I first originally mentioned it. But again, Toshi was actually a little bit lower than that. You can see it got down to around 50 million in market cap, and we're starting to pull back up again. And then last but not least, we have Dog and Me, which in my opinion, I said in a base chain video, I think Dog and Me is going to be the top dog on base when it comes to dog memes, because you have other ones, but I like Dog and Me the most. So where we at here? Dog and Me is sitting around just under a 35 million in market cap. If we head over to YouTube, and you can go do this as well, go to my channel, see when I first mentioned it for the first time. But let's see where we at. Dog and Me, this was the first time me mentioning it. And let's see, where's the chart? Boom. So at the time, you can see it was up over a 2x when I mentioned it, around an 84 million market cap. I do think Dog and Me is going to get back to this and a lot higher as well. Now, moving down to Pulsechain, we have Pulse, PTGC, Bear, PDI, and we have Alien. Now, a couple other projects I do hold on Pulsechain with high conviction is going to be Pulse Wrap Bitcoin, which I do hold, and I actually got in pretty early on. And then I also hold some Pulse X as well, which is not being shown on here. So if we head over to DEX Tools real quick, and we take a look at Pulse here, and it's going to be Wrap Pulse. You can see it's sitting around a 500 million in market cap. Now, if we head over to the YouTube channel and we go to the very first Pulsechain video I put out, I talked about the ecosystem and all of that. So let's see. Here's the very first video I put out for Pulsechain 9 months ago, but the exact date was February 9th, right? So if you look right here, and I told you guys also back then, this is what I was holding. The one that isn't doing good is Blast, but here's Rat Pulse sitting around 952 million, so basically 2x below. If you look at PTGC, which is doing exceptionally well, where you at, PTGC? So here's PTGC sitting around 125 million in market cap. Look at this chart, it's absolutely crazy. Now, if you look here, and this is all Blast, so I'm gonna come back to PTGC because I did an individual video on it. So give me 1 second on that. So we're gonna go down to Bear, right? So if we look at Teddy Bear is currently sitting at 75 million in market cap. If we head over to this chart here, you're going to see Bear sitting at a 32 million market cap. So we're up a 2x from that mention. If we go back over to Twitter, we have 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗟𝗙𝗢. And if you look at 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗙𝗢, which is doing exceptionally well, it was sitting around a 53 million market cap. Now, here we are today. 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡 is at 2 cents, sitting at 465 million market cap, which now costs you 20K for that same million tokens. And at this price, you could have got a million tokens for $2,300 to $2,400, and it now costs you 20 grand for that same million tokens, right? So again, just telling you guys, you got to have conviction, you got to have patience, you got to know what you own. You look here on Alien, doing kind of similar. I still hold Alien. And where you at? So Alien's sitting around 2.27 million in market cap. But if we go over and look at Pulsechain, it's sitting around 7.47 billion. If we look at Pulsechain today, it's sitting around just 6 billion, right? So Pulse and Pulsechain is a little bit lower from when I mentioned it. But if you look at 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡, you look at PTGC, those are doing exceptionally well. Also Teddy Bear also. So let's go back to PTGC here so I can show you how it's doing. So we're gonna go back. Pulsechain altcoins. So now look at the current price, 18.5 million for PTGC. 18.5 million. PTGC 125 million today. So we're up X's on 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡, we're up X's on PTGC, and we're up, a couple X's on Bear. So again, just showing you guys, these are projects that I am still holding going into 2025. We go back over to Twitter. I still hold 𝗥𝗚𝗏 and I still hold Redo. We look at the chart here, you can see it's sitting around a 1.5 million market cap. If you look at Redo, which isn't doing that well, sitting around a 27 million market cap. So if we head over to my Ton videos, because I also talked about these as well. You can see at the time I mentioned it, it was at 500 and let's go back over to that chart. If you look at the 𝗥𝗚𝗏 chart, you can see it was around a 572 million market cap. Compared to today, even with it being down, we're still up almost a 3x, sitting around 1.5 million. You look at Redo here, we're actually down a little bit though from my mention. You can see 27.8 million in market cap. You can see it was around 68 million in market cap. So we're down about a 2, close to a 3x roughly from the current mention. So it definitely lost a ton of steam. And then last but not least, we have 𝗥𝗏, which we kind of talked about earlier, which is ADA's biggest meme coin, right? Which is going to be, in my opinion, a billion plus token. One of the new additions that I made a video on is 𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗔𝗕. They're basically going off of the silver narrative, trying to get this token to the same price as physical silver. So in a nutshell, that's what 𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗔𝗕 is. But these are the projects that I'm holding in high conviction compared to some of the OG projects I hold. As I mentioned earlier, Solana, XRP, XLM, I still hold very nice bags in those. I just don't talk about them too much. Talk about Solana a lot, but not XRP and XLM. But again, I know this video was a little bit longer, a little bit different, but at least I wanted to kind of share with you as we have maybe a good 8 to potentially 10, maybe 12 months, but that will kind of be pushing it for this bull run. I want you guys to see this is what I'm holding. This is how they're doing since the time I mentioned it. And a lot of these projects we are actually up on. And if we go to the peak of where they were compared to where they at now, some of them even went even higher. So let me know down in the comment section, what projects do you hold on this list? What projects are you in profit on? And which ones do you maybe have some questions on, right? But again, you always got to think for yourself, have some conviction, and understand that we still have time left in this bull run. Lock in, make your money, have a great Thanksgiving, and I will catch you all on the next one.